talking final resting places of drug lords. Normally we would go live on Thursday night, which was last night. We would be doing Q&As, which we didn't do. We just had a very short live, and I'm getting ready to rush to the airport to get back on the plane. We're doing dinner here in a little bit, so I'm doing all this so you and me can hang out at 9 o'clock Eastern. It's all good. Drug lords, final resting places. You know Felix the cat? Felix the cat. His name's Felix Mitchell. Nonetheless, I wouldn't want to mess with him. He is known as Felix the cat, and he is in Oakland, California. I mean, he's close. Well, he's dead. Drug lord. His lavish funeral featured a horse-drawn carriage and a procession of luxury cars with thousands attending and witnessing. I guess that's something that you can afford if you are a drug lord. Nonetheless, in the lobby, there's a lot of people who are driving in Rolls Royces and Bentleys and other vehicles. So I wonder if they're driving. I'm just kidding. They're in the music business, and people in the music business, they like to be flashy. If you're just joining, I'm Nathan. I'm glad you're here. My single is doing really well at radio, and we have had meetings today, and I can't talk about them, but I'm excited about them. Oh my goodness. It's like one of those things where, you know, don't count your chickens before they hatch. Don't count your eggs before they chicken. It's Friday. I'm coming to you live from West Hollywood at Kimpton Lapeer Hotel. That's where we are. It's really nice. I love it. All right, Felix Mitchell, Felix the cat, rest in peace, baby. We're talking about drug lords, and we're talking about resting places of drug lords. So he's obviously buried in Oakland, California. Jose Gonzalo Rodriguez Gacha. He's a Colombian drug lord. Those are the ones that really scare me, because if you watch those documentaries, they're always chopping hands and heads off. It's really scary. Remembered for funding public projects in Pacho, he had a mysterious burial, sparking rumors of him actually faking his death due to the late night closed coffin ceremony. Interesting. I mean, if I were a drug lord, if I were in the drug world and cartel, especially in Colombia, especially in that area, it's dangerous in and of itself, but I would fake my death too. I mean, if you remember Frederick Ward, who was not even a gunslinging bandit, he faked his death so he could attend his uncle's funeral. Anyway, my point is I would highly consider that. He probably had a lot of people after him. A lot of people after him. Jose, very smart of you, Jose. Have you ever been to Colombia? Let me know in the comments. I don't know why you'd want to go. I mean, not that it's not beautiful, but if it's probably not a touristy place. And in Colombia, that's where they go up and they cook and make the coca, and then they ship it. There's a lot of money in drugs. It's unfortunate. Be careful out there. Fentanyl is really bad too. Everybody's lacing everything with fentanyl. Anyway, I'm a musician. I don't know why we're talking about fentanyl. I'm tired, okay? Amado Carrillo Fuentes? I took 4 years of Spanish. Give me a break. He was dubbed the Lord of the Skies. That's a cool name. Felix the cat. Sorry. His mausoleum in Mexico, it cost over $415,000. And it has raised doubts whether Fuentes' body is actually inside due to its opulence and the mysterious death of his surgeons. That makes me wonder too. I mean, mausoleums are very expensive in and of themselves. They really are. I mean, you have not just a mausoleum that's like a public mausoleum where you could go and have a space. Went to Hollywood, remembers? Hollywood, whatever the cemetery is called. Oh my gosh, Forever. Hollywood Forever Cemetery. And those mausoleum spaces start at 18,000. But they're probably the single ones where if someone's not married, because more than 80%, probably more than that, have a double, like a his and a hers. You're not going to buy a single necessarily for the most part. So those are the ones that are the most affordable. When you get up into the doubles, you're probably paying a premium price. Nonetheless, $415,000 for the private, it's its own thing. And then you have to buy the plot of land that it sets on. So those are plots that you have to buy. Now in Mexico, though, in Mexico City, you're buried for 7.5 years or 7 years, and then they dig you up because 30,000 deaths annually in Mexico City alone. So they have the bones dug up. Nonetheless, I talked about it in a previous video. I know, my work's nearly 13 years in the funeral profession, inspired all these songs, and you all like the rabbit hole that is final resting places of drug lords, so it's really all your fault. Nonetheless, $450,000 monument that you can't open. Why can't they open it? I mean, not that you'd want, it's a grave robber thing, but if they opened it, they would be able to say, yes, he's in there, no, he's not in there, Lord of the Skies. The surgeons died probably because they messed up his surgery, and if he was said to have died, but he didn't die, and then he faked his death, and then he killed them because he was mad, kind of all makes sense. Ramon Arellano Felix? How about we just say Ramon Felix? The Tijuana cartel boss's body was hastily cremated under a false identity before authorities could confirm his death, leaving his fate a mystery. It makes perfect sense. I'm telling you, all these people have faked their deaths. I don't know that for a fact. Please don't stop the video before I said that, because that's not necessarily true. But a lot of these have the ingredients to say, hey, I mean, Ramon Felix? Hastily cremated? Give me a break. There is paperwork. There are things that must be done. I'm just going to go on and move on from that, because Arturo Leyva, known as the boss of bosses, his extravagant mausoleum features modern amenities like satellite TV and Wi-Fi, reflecting his powerful status in life. That is what I want. My manager's wife, he and her were talking, and they were talking about what they wanted after we left the cemetery. And he said, are you going to take your cell phone? You want your cell phone? I mean, I understand everything's symbolic in a sense, right? I mean, obviously he was kidding in jest, but, you know, taking your favorite pen or taking your favorite something, or even having something representative of you. If this individual, maybe they liked watching satellite TV, maybe the Wi-Fi was super important to them because that's how they conducted their business. That was absolutely legal, by the way. I was in the lobby today and I met so many cool people. Again, like yesterday, there's so many people I think that don't communicate with people or talk. We're just humans. And going up to someone, I had someone buy my breakfast because I said, good morning, how are you? Literally, just was treating them like a human being, and a decent one at that. And they were like, because you did this, here you go. I thought that was amazing. And I was so grateful. I was like, you don't have to do that. He said, you didn't have to speak to me. And I'm like, I know that, but it's the human decent thing to do. Nonetheless, I met some really cool people on this trip, and it helped me realize that I have to remind myself that no one's better than anyone. And every one of us are equal, and every one of us deserve to be cared for. And I say that a lot, but when you're in environments, maybe like, you know, it's Grammy week, so you have all these people walking around, and they're all big music producers or big managers or big something in the industry. And I think we all want the same thing. We all want to succeed. We want to see other people succeed, the people around us. And so it's good to be human and to feel that. And I don't know how I went from satellite TV and Wi-Fi at a burial site to that. Nonetheless, it's my space. I can do whatever I want. And what are your thoughts on that? Let me know. And I'll be sure to reflect back on those. I don't know how to say this word. Heriberto Lazcano, the assassin turned drug lord's body, was stolen from a funeral home, with his final resting place rumored to be an elaborate mausoleum, though the government's secrecy adds to the mystery. So the government's been secretive about his burial in and of itself. That probably means that he's involved in some sort of drug operation that funds the government, and then therefore the government's going to help cover things up for them on their behalf. I mean, it happens all the time. You'd be amazed. I don't know. I mean, it happens in the United States too, let's be honest. And there is stuff happening all the time. And if this video, this live on a Friday night has me disappearing, I bid you farewell. I'm not in the world. I have no idea. All I'm doing is telling stories that are public. I'm just reading from websites that I've taken information because I too am intrigued by this. So don't kill the messenger. I'm not telling you anything. I'm not even dropping names. Griselda Blanco. Griselda Blanco, the notorious cocaine smuggler, had a well-attended funeral in Colombia, with her burial site being in the same cemetery as her rival, Pablo Guzman. So she is buried. She's deceased. She's actually deceased, as is Pablo Guzman. I've heard of Pablo before. I mean, the drug world is a very dangerous place because, especially with a lot of it coming out of like Mexico. Have you all been to Mexico? Let me know in the comments. Mi español es muy mal. I know that, Joanna, you speak, right? You speak fluent Spanish, but it's a very dangerous world, the drug world. And I watched a documentary the other night. Again, it was on Nat Geo Trafficked, and they were talking about the most prominent people were in South Africa in this one part are taxi cab owners. Each of them are on essentially like less than a mile apart, and when they're out in public, they all have these like arsenal of people walking around, the owners, and they all put hits on each other. It's the weirdest thing. I mean, like, can you not just get along? Can they not meet for coffee and be like, listen, there's probably something about just us joining forces and being supportive of each other? I guess not. Nonetheless, they hire people with AR-15s and they're pointing them at people. I don't know. I don't know if it's more dangerous in South Africa to run a taxi service or drug running smuggling service. Nazario Moreno Gonzalez, the La Familia cartel leader, revered as a saint by some, had a secretive burial with his final resting place never confirmed, adding to his mythical status as well. I just think that it's such a dangerous world that there are people, not only that, they don't want to get arrested. You know, FBI and Escobar, every person before that's gotten caught, maybe they're just kind of going underground. Maybe they're taking it easy. Maybe it's their way to retire. Nonetheless, he's considered a saint by some people. I bet you that they do a lot of, I say this, outside of the drugs that they provide to a mass audience of people that are addicts and they unfortunately kill and destroy families. In these areas, this money that they generate, they probably pay for a lot for community members, people within their city. I don't know. Nonetheless, you don't know where he's buried. That's what I'm getting at. I feel like I'm rambling. This is what commitment looks like. Oh, it's been a long few days. Went to this restaurant last night. It's called Ira. There's two in New York. There's one in Beverly Hills. And it was amazing. I mean, I'm chickened out though. Like, I have had chicken everywhere I go. It's like the safe meal, you know? Whenever I eat very basic, I don't like much. I don't eat bread. I don't like to do any of that stuff. So, not that I can't order something else, but I like safe, easy meals that I know I can go here and get chicken and there and get chicken. And it's like the go-to. I don't know what half of these things mean on the menu. Everybody's eating pinky up. I'm just like, I'll do the chicken. I don't even open the menu. That's my thing. So if we ever hang out and I say I want the chicken, I either A, can't read the menu, or B, don't want a bellyache. You're welcome. What about Hector Leyva? Was there another Leyva? There was Arturo. After a discreet death in prison, the cartel boss's body was flown to his hometown and closely guarded, and then his burial site remaining undisclosed. Interesting. So I wonder if Hector and Arturo are siblings, cousins, uncles, nephew, things like that. I mean, obviously, I would think it's a family business, kind of like the funeral profession. If you've watched Ozarks, that was a very smart idea to have a mausoleum, putting money in it. I'm just going to say that. I'm going to throw that out there. I'm going to just toss it out. I don't advise. I advise against it. But, okay. Frank Lucas, the infamous American drug lord, had a custom-made Cadillac CTS V style casket for his burial, highlighting his luxurious lifestyle even in death. Now, he did die. I do know that, and that is a very expensive. I wonder if he had to get like permission from Cadillac, like GM, to build a casket that, not him, but the people that built it, because whenever you want to personalize a casket, get a UK, like the University of Kentucky blue. Obviously, they don't own the rights to that color royal blue, but the trademark that is their logo, you can't just have it put on there, right? So there were a lot of times where requests were made where you can't actually facilitate them because they don't have the ability to manufacture a casket with the UK logo. My point is, how did they get the Cadillac CTS V style casket made? Did they just do it because they say, you know what, we're not going to follow the law because he didn't in life, so they're not going to in death? I don't know. What are your thoughts? I want a classic gold. If you Google it right now, it's black, has gold on it. Sounds very tacky. It's not. It's very, very classy. That's what I want. Navy suit, remember, white shirt, purple tie. Want my hair done just right. Yeah, that's all I want. You know what also I want to do? I want to lay down and go to sleep here, but I can't because I'm going to go to dinner. But I wanted to be here with you and to talk to you and tell you these stories of these drug lords, because you all Google it and I'm like, okay, I'll talk about it. I feel like I'm just talking in circles. One thing I'm going to take from this trip is it's amazing how things are full circle. Like being flown here in 2009 or so, meeting with Warner, hearing the stories of all the things that would happen that never happened, creating songs at that time, before that time, that I thought you would like and that didn't at all hit the mark. They actually fell so short and flat because they weren't authentic. They were not. They were what I thought you wanted and not what I needed to share. And I think getting a lot of life under your belt too, like getting through experiences that are heavy, that are burdensome. I talk about how there's victory in suffering, and it gives us perspective, and it gives us this opportunity to genuinely connect with and meet people in the truest of form in any given moment and scenario, and to be kind of comfortable in your own skin and be able to say, hey, sure, I would love to write a song and record a song like Neo, but I would like to record this song because this is what I wrote, and I welcome constructive criticism. However, this is my sound and style. And all that time had to pass, and here we are, full circle, and people like what I've created with those that I've created it with. And that's cool. Again, along the way, there's been constructive criticism and, hey, do this, tweak this, but it's connecting with you because it's real and it's authentic. And I know we've all experienced so much heaviness, sadness, grief, and there's this beautiful thing that connects us all. And I think that's why we're able to be here together, because you believe what I'm sharing and vice versa, and we're able to have this thing, and I think it's awesome. And so I'm grateful for it, and I leave here tonight super late, and I'll fly back, and I'm okay to fly back overnight because I get to see the boy in the morning and celebrate his birthday and do the things that he wants to do, because it's amazing the way that a kid looks at you, the way that your son in this instance, I hung the moon. He doesn't care about gold or platinum records. He doesn't care about which record label. I mean, he loves my music, and I've kept him updated. Do you see any famous people? Will you take a picture with them? Absolutely. But he doesn't care. He just wants me there with him, which I wouldn't miss it for anything, for his birthday. He just wants me to mow the yard with him. He just wants me to watch him play basketball. He doesn't care. And that's amazing. And it kind of takes the pressure off with life in general. If you realize that we're all just trying to get through life together to the best of our abilities, have fun along the way, make an impact. We put so much pressure on ourselves. For what? For what? I've made such incredible connections with huge, respectfully speaking, like huge movers and shakers in the music and entertainment industry in just a few short days that are genuine and authentic. It wasn't me trying to impress or them saying false promises or fake things. It was a genuine, hey, I appreciate you. Hey, this is the big win for you, and we were a part of helping make it happen. Let's celebrate. Hell yeah. That's amazing. I'm so grateful for that. And I'm grateful for the perspective. So I wouldn't have been ready in 2009, when those deals and things were happening, all that noise, all the really cool stuff at the time that looked shiny and fun. It wouldn't have been. I wouldn't have been able to navigate it. I would have been a yes, as even an adult, even a few years ago. I don't want to say I was a yes man, but maybe to a degree, because I wanted everyone to be okay. I wanted everyone to be happy. I wanted everyone to like me. And I say that with a sense of mockery because it was so stupid. It's like, you lose yourself for what? It's like, why? Why are you sacrificing your feelings, your wants, your desires, your needs in hopes that somebody likes you? Which, it's funny because they don't. Or they do, but they don't, and who cares? Who cares? It's amazing. It's amazing how all this is happening. And I've thought about it a lot this trip. And the cool thing about it is, being alone. Like being able to, go to dinner with your management and with, all the people and companies and representatives. But I mean, like, in this moment or the moments leading up to the meetings, there's quiet time. And I used to avoid that at all costs. I don't know if it was because I didn't like myself or to deal with some of the things that I ultimately have. I guess it was all of the above, but being able to just sit in your own company is amazing. You're able to see things totally different and to watch the world and have appreciation for it. And if I sound like I'm just like out there, that's not my goal. My goal is to I see through a different set of eyes now. It's fun. I'm having a good time, and that's neat. It's really neat, and I can't wait to share some of the news that's happening. I mean, once managers say, yeah, you can share that, that's amazing. I'll be like, guess what just happened, guys? But I know that Jim Brickman's show, he has 30 something radio stations. They'll have the interview playing tonight, tomorrow, this weekend. Maybe it already happened today. I'm appreciative. I don't even know what day it is. I can't navigate the times. Like, the time differences are awful. And on the way here, I hope United fixed the wireless. I know that sounds like so first world problems, but I mean, I had a scheduled meeting that I was supposed to be on the way, and the internet was messed up. So nonetheless, it didn't happen. And it's hard to go from Eastern time to Central time to all the mountains and Pacific, and to be able to synchronize everything. Calendars are already a shit show for me. So what was I talking about that for? Jim Brickman. Anyway, I hope that I hope I can continue to bottle this up, like experience this and to sit in the positive of it and the process and enjoy it, because we get so excited for an event, that's a month out. It's 28 days, it's 16 days, and then it gets here, and then it happens, or it's happening, and then it happens, and we're like, now what? It's like, why can't you enjoy 30 days away, 29 days away? You understand what I mean? Why can't we just enjoy this part, and also this part, and then after parts? And I'm looking toward constantly being intentional about that. It's a process. It's every day. It's constantly learning and refining and sitting with yourself, being okay with it. Yeah. anybody that's purchased the merch, thank you. It's all in the description, and I'm grateful for that, and I can't wait to be able to say, hey guys, gals, this is what's going on. These are the shows that are coming up, and I know there's a lot of back and forth. It's like a tennis match. That's why I don't, until it happens, I've stopped asking like where it stands. I know that sounds weird, but I'll ask JoJo, or I'll ask Howie. I'll say, hey, what's going on with the shows? Like, oh, they're talking to these people. It's like that game of Pong. Boop, boop, boop. And this is literally how slow it is. It's just because every artist and band, because they couldn't tour during COVID, they all are touring, continue to tour, and continue to fill up these venues and secure these dates. So everyone's fighting for the Mercury Ballroom in Louisville, or this venue or that venue. And let's be very honest, like, I will be jumping on tours probably with other artists or other artists or bands that have more longevity than I've had, meaning more, I don't know, they secure and get first rights of a date and venue. I don't know, but I do know that it's all in the works. Boop, boop, boop. When it happens, I'll let you know. But I do know that you all have obviously been sharing the song because it is going nuts on streaming platforms, and that is wild because, getting 1,000 streams a day has been really fun, but we're talking way up. And both singles are still charting at Billboard, and it's not been done in decades. I mean, it really hasn't, and I still am waiting for them to say, Nathan, here's how long it's been. But it hadn't happened. I don't think it matters. I think it just shows that the people that are surrounding me are the ones that really believe in me, and like you all really believing, and everyone seeing you all be here with me now and before, and everything that I put out you're supportive of, and you genuinely want to see me win. And they're like, damn, because that's a constant conversation. They talk about like the fans. Do you have fans? Do you have fans? Do you have fans? It's like I've got friends here that just keep showing up and support. Absolutely. It's cool because they see it, and that means a lot to me because I'm able to show them. And I wish there was something else I could do. And if I seem like I babbled tonight after the drug lord thing or whatever, after the drug lord thing, no, if it seems like I babbled tonight, then so be it. But I wish I can find another means to measure moving the needle, because the only way we measure things is through something numeric or empty, full. I wish there was something I could do to not worry about numbers. You've had 1,000 streams or 6,000 streams or whatever, or you've sold this many shirts today on the merch store. I think it comes down to just relationships and knowing that what we put out has been impactful and meaningful, and getting the comments saying, I love your content, or I love this video, or I love your lives, even though you sit and babble all day long. Because I really do. This is kind of therapeutic for me. That's amazing. I still do therapy, but I feel like I'm, this is me lying on a couch saying, well, what happened? No, it's good for me. And I hope you all feel a part of it. That's been the whole goal. It's like, I want you all to feel a part of this. And I love to try to share and to make you aware of what's happening when obviously I'm able to say things. But I just am grateful because you could spend your time doing something else. And you could absolutely spend your money on other things other than the merch and supporting on TikTok and subscribing. And, I welcome you all to tell me some ideas that you have, because I can't wait till the VIP experiences happen, and we're going to be doing the sub-only lives, and we'll be doing stuff here as well. I love new ways that we're able to connect and your ideas so that we can maybe implement those. But I'm just appreciative, and so if prayer is what you turn to at times, say a prayer for me that I can have meaningful meetings, that I can oh wow, I gotta go. That I can also get some rest on the plane, and I don't have cross eyes on the drive back, and that my son, that I'm able to be fully present, and I can't wait to see him all of them. It's gonna be fun. I've missed them. It's been a few days. So, anywho, I'm gonna go to dinner and probably get the chicken, but it's fine. All right. Until next time. I appreciate you very much. If you need to go back and listen to all the drug lords that are not really dead, but say they're dead, except 2, you go. Okay. If I come up missing, then you know where I'm at.